Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Good. So, I don't know what's my topic. Do you have any idea? What is this called? Dual Track Agility? Any one of you? No? Okay, make it simple. This conference talks about three things: product, UX, and also design, product, and technology. Let's start with this simple question. How many of you are here from the product management background? Can you raise a hand? And how many are from the design, like user experience, customer experience? A lot more. Are poor people like me from technology? There are a few. Good, nice to see you here. My talk, not going to be a complicated one, so just hang on. Hey, guys, how does it work? So I have a problem to solve. Can product people tell me what is the definition of product? What is called product? What is the definition of product? Or let me make it simple. What is product? An Intel microprocessor, a Samsung motherboard, or a Dell laptop? No, it's not a complicated question, correct? What is product? All of them. So all of them are product, correct? It can be a B2B or B2C product. But then design people, what is the design element in microprocessor? Any design people, many people raised a hand. So what can be the design element into a microprocessor? Don't know. Maybe performance? Maybe your weight? I don't know. And technology people, how are you going to develop it? So these three things that what we are going to cover here, but I will start with making things simple. Who started the concept of product management? Any idea? Thank you. This guy, correct? And when? Long ago in 1931. What is product management? Any idea? Have you seen a product here in Malaysia called Myvi? How many of you drive it or have tried driving Myvi? Lot many people. Myvi. Do you still remember that when this product came in the market? No? Somewhere in 2005. For last 19 years, people in Malaysia are driving Myvi. Then what is the product management into that? Let's say Myvi is a product, then what is the product management about? Are we talking about end-to-end product management, like somebody is a product manager, will look at the sales, marketing, customer experience, feedback, and design the new phase of product, correct? So that's how they documented as a note in PNG in 1931 by this guy. Neil. Then we come back here, then we say, what is the difference between product management and product development? Is it a product development and management is the same thing, or is it going to be a two different element? And just before that, I just want to make sure that my talk should not be too technical for you, because I'm just going to set a stage for all the people, those who are going to speak later, okay? So I will just be touching something on a very high level, so you have a bit of idea that what we can expect from this conference going forward. So to start with, what is the product management versus product development? How can you differentiate these two? Product development is just one of the stages into a product management, correct? But many people or many product managers don't get involved into a product development. Is it true? The product manager just visualize the product, that what they really want, but when it's come to development, they don't go and develop. And then where we also get one more interesting thing is called project management. Okay. So product manager visualize the product, what they really want it, and then they pass it to someone to execute or develop the project. And in 1970 or somewhere in 70s, we got another concept of project management. Is also known as waterfall, because it goes like this. So, there's two things. Then we have also one more thing interesting here. Who started this UX concept, user experience? Any idea? How many of you design people have read this book? Anyone? Many people have gone through this book, The Design of Everyday Things. This guy, Don Norman, he wrote this book. Do you remember when? Somewhere in 70s, 80s, something like that, or 90s. And then he was the first UX professional or someone having the UX title in this industry when he joined Apple in 90s. Now, what happened after this? After this, we came to another world called digital transformation. Till then, it was okay that there is a product manager designing the product. We got a design people designing a kind of user experience, especially started with the Apple when you started with the iPhone design. And then things start moving on. Digital transformation picks up into in many industry. Like take example of banking. If you go to any bank, what people talk about? We want digital transformation. Why do we need digital transformation? Any idea? Like I also work for as consultant in Maybank, so I can talk about it. But any idea that why banks are going for digital transformation? Are they trying to save cost? Are they trying to reach out to the more people? Are they going to give a new experience? Or is it because of technology advancement? There can be a multiple reason, correct? But digital transformation also brings another big challenge. The challenge was very simple. Like think of that I have my account in a public bank. If I have any issue, I can go to the bank, I can sit there, and maybe I'm waiting for 30 minutes, I get annoyed. Someone noticed me in the bank and they come back and talk to me, try to solve my problem. Or I am really stressed out and then the bank employees see me that and they come and talk to me. Or I know someone and they know my problem in advance, they can go and solve it. All this happening when we are having a physical bank, correct? So I go to a bank and I can talk to the people, I can get my issue resolved. But how will you listen me or how will you respond to me when you move your bank on a digital platform? What will you do in that case? If you don't serve me well, then what will happen? Do you think this will drop? If you don't understand your customer, if you don't care about the user experience, if you don't, like I keep calling or if I keep trying to do a transaction but nothing happening, do you think I can get annoyed and I will move to some other bank? Maybe. So customer satisfaction will drop, or maybe user experience is not going to be there, customer experience is not going to be there. That's where the things came into in a picture, like the demand for a user experience people a lot. How can you design the better experience for the user when we are developing digital product? And now we are shifting not only just to a normal digital transformation, correct? We are also talking about the virtual reality or augmented reality or a mixed reality. The experience or user experience or customer experience is going to be a key here going forward. Now, the another thing came when we came with the digital transformation is that we got divided into two different parts. Somebody says that, okay, I will look it into what customer wants. And then they started calling it as a discovery, product discovery. So I will do the discovery. Okay? Then other set of people, they said, okay, we will do delivery. Have you seen this two part in the company? There are certain people, those who are into a product discovery, and there are people, those who are into a product delivery. And how they operated. So these people says, discovery people, that, hey, we are going to go with understand the customer requirement, and then define the problem statement. After defining the problem statement, what we'll call? We'll go for an ideation, or we'll come with the ideas, we'll design a prototype, and we'll validate the prototype or test the prototype. This is nothing but it's called design thinking, correct? And it's become a normal thing in our industry. In fact, there is a video, I don't know how many of you have watched, but I'm sure many of you. IDEO shopping cart video. How many of you have seen on the YouTube? IDEO shopping cart video, a video that they do it, and mostly they teach it in the colleges, correct? Nowadays, a video for designing a shopping cart. If you go and read the comment below, okay, it's full of fun, okay, and that's the video people uses it to teach design thinking, okay. But the comments are really interesting. When you get time, just go through it. You will love it. So design people, product people, UX people, they start following something like this, that, hey, let me define the problem statement. And once we have a problem statement, that means we are away from the problem zone, we go for a solutioning zone. There, we'll come with the multiple ideas, we'll design prototype, and then we'll go and validate. Okay, now what will you do after it gets validated? Then you come to delivery. And when you come to delivery, then most organizations adopted agile way of working, which has nothing much except the 4 values and 12 principles. And I'm not going to read it, but you can just go and look at the Agile Manifesto, got published in 2001, which has the 12 principles and 4 values. And most organizations, when they do Agile, then they talk like a Scrum. Something like this, okay, hey, we have a product backlog, we have a product owner, we have a Scrum Master, we work in iteration, blah, blah. But in reality, if you go in a company, you know what they do? They mostly do water Scrum or a hybrid Agile. Now, what is this water Scrum and hybrid Agile? Any idea? So it's more like one set of people going to work on ideas, correct? So, hey, I'm a product guy or I'm a product manager. I wanted to have a product, so let's run a design thinking workshop, or let's go do the customer survey, or come with the user experience or customer experience. You take some time, maybe a quarter, correct? 3 months, 4 months, just to come with the product idea, correct? Now, how many of you have realized that whatever you design, your developers are not developing the same thing? Any one of you have experienced this? That whatever you design, your developers are not developing the same thing. Okay. Now, what will happen in that case? A developer will go and asking that, hey, this will not supported in this technology or blah, blah. Then you will have a multiple iteration. One of the company here, I think, before pandemic, I was working with them. They say that they are going to have a digital transformation, and they said they are developing a blueprint. And I said, what is there in the blueprint? So it's user experience, customer experience. They took 1 year just to come up with the digital transformation roadmap, and that was nothing more than the user experience, like the wireframe kind of things, or prototype, not even a running prototype, it's just like a wireframe. 1 year. I said, guys, do you know that by the time you go out in the market, Apple will have 3 more versions of iPhone? And every time they are going to increase the screen size. Did you realize that? Even this time they have increased the screen size, correct? So your real estate going to change. If your real estate is going to change, how can your 2-year-old UX will fit into in the new model of iPhone? Now that is the reality in many organizations, that people end up doing a lot more waterfalling kind of things. If you go and talk to them, they say, hey, we do hybrid. Okay. What is the meaning of hybrid? Any idea? It means it's nothing more than hiding yourself. Okay? So hybrid is nothing more than hiding yourself. But then the interesting things happens and keep happening. So just excuse me about one thing. I'm very poor in calling people's name, okay? So I will not go and call the writer name, but I know the book name. How many of you have gone through the Lean UX book? Some of you tried going through? Good. So when you go and read this Lean UX book, you will see there is a 3 component that talks about. One, obviously, is talking about the UX, so you will have a user experience or design or customer experience. Second thing that it also talks about Lean, and what the Lean means, that how quickly you can validate your idea. Okay. Nothing new. Maybe just to look at one simple thing, that Ford, as a company, they came with the assembly line to produce a car in masses, correct? They were the first one. They produced a car like crazy in early 90s. But in mid-90s, the other company came after the Second World War with the crisis of resources. It's called Toyota. Actually, it was Toyota or something like that. They change it and make it Toyota. And they introduced the concept that how we can design the product with the all kind of constraint. And they tried to look at that what is not important that we can ignore and make simple things faster. So they introduced the concept of lean, and from there we are a software engineer, correct? We always try to steal something from somewhere. So we took their idea and we call it as agile software development, but primarily it's talking about lean. So if you say lean UX, lean means let's cut down all the bullshit that doesn't add value and then see how quickly you can validate your idea. So just a book about that. And the third is, obviously there is another book called Lean Startup. Many people know about one thing, it's called MVP. How many of you have heard about MVP? Minimum viable product. Many of you, correct? If you read this book, you will see the real meaning of MVP, the book called Lean Startup. Nowadays, everything is MVP. Okay. And some people produces the multiple version of MVP, MVP1, MVP2, MVP3, and I still don't know what exactly they are doing it, but they do it. The good thing happened with the Lean UX that somewhere, design people, product people, they started also realizing, hey, we can be agile as well, correct? Isn't it? We can also produce a design in incremental way, like, iterative way. Just like developers, they are developing the product or they are delivering the product in iteration, we can also do that. And that brings the concept of dual track. Now, what is a dual track means? There is a one track which is going for a development. So there is a set of people, let's say 5, 6 people, they are building a product. There is another 3, 4 people, they are continuously designing the user experience, UI design, and prototype, and wireframe, something like that. But is it a good thing to do it? What do you think? Same product, 2 set of people. One, they are working in an iteration to produce the user UI design, for example, make it simple. Another set of people, they are taking the UI design and incorporating into a development. Okay. We glorify everything, whatever we do, correct? So we also glorified this. It's called dual track agility. Hey, we are doing the dual track agility, but is it really helping you? People have started following something very simple. They say that, hey, I'm a discovery phase, so we are a UX people. We have hypothesis. Fantastic. What will you do with the hypothesis? No, we are going to experiment the hypothesis with a low code or something like that, and then we'll go and measure that whether it's working, we'll learn from there. Okay, so now you learn what people appreciate, isn't it? Now, but it's still a prototype. So then whatever I validated, I go pass it to the developer, and developer will have their build hypothesis, and they will also go and build, they will measure, and they will learn. Do you think this diagram looks okay to everyone? It's a good idea to have it? Nothing is better than something, correct? Or something is better than nothing. For me, always nothing is better than something, because I always need big. Okay. So this has become a reality in many organizations. I don't know how many of you uses agile way of UX or a lean UX, or is still using the older way of like take a 3 months to design the whole prototype, take a approval, budget approval, and then go on building. If you are there, then it's not for you. It is for the people, those who have at least moved their product design into an agile way within the organization. But this is a long feedback cycle. Because still you have to go through the discovery, you have your hypothesis. Like in TNG payment wallet, I have people from here, TNG payment wallet. So sorry guys, question is not for you, it's for other people. Okay. Nowadays, if I want to see that how much balance I have in my TNG wallet, it doesn't show up. Anyone of you experienced this? You have to click twice or thrice somewhere to see the balance that you have in a payment wallet. Okay. Is it a good experience or bad experience? I want to see that how much money I have in my TNG payment wallet. Okay? But it doesn't show up now. Okay? I have to click twice or thrice somewhere to see that. When I go, then also they say that, hey, we are protecting you. You can pay some amount and then you can, protect your privacy or something like that. Fantastic. But think like a product guy. We are validating the idea, correct? So we validated the idea. We build the idea. Now, if it doesn't work, then what will happen? We'll go back and revert or we'll come up with something new, correct? So is your learning cycle too long? If your learning cycle is too long, do you think you are still meeting the pace what industry is looking for? Okay? And another thing is that why can't we do the UX work along with the developer side by side? What stops you to do the work side by side? Why do we need to have a two separate team? Something like this. Can we have a cross-functional design and delivery team? Can we bring together, make a small team, and continuously learn? Learn means discover, design, develop, and again discover. How can you bring these people together, or what is the reason behind keeping these people away from each other? Like the conference says, design, product, and tech. What stops you to say that one simple line is a product management conference? Doesn't all these three fits into here? By having a one simple name. So when we divide people, then our learning cycle increases because then the people will exchange hand multiple times. Okay? So there is going to be a handoff. Make a team where we can have all this. Dual track is not bad, but it will still be a longer feedback cycle. Better to have a single team, more like here. Okay. Can we build something like design and development together? Okay. Maybe initially we'll do a lot more design. Maybe later we'll do a lot more development. Or this spike keep going up and down is absolutely okay. I rather having a two different team. What will happen if you work like this? UX people and product people and development people, all this coming together and working as a team. What can happen? There is, especially in the bigger and larger organization, there is one big problem. In many large organizations, tech is a separate department altogether. Some people give them advice maybe a couple of decades ago that tech has to become demand and supply. So product people, there are a lot more product team. They will design the product. If their product is get approved, then they go back to the tech team and then request them to develop it. Okay? So if you are like that, nothing going to help, nothing going to work like this. It will work when you have a tech working alongside the product team together. But if you work like this, it's not going to be easy. You will have a lot more complaints. And what kind of complaint? You will have a complaint like this. Okay. You will have a developer saying that, hey, UX take too long. And the UX will say, builder demands final sign-up design. How many tech people ask for that? Hey, is it a final? Is it a final requirement or will it change? There are people, correct? So tech people will complain about UX, UX will complain about tech. And some of the common complaints are here, correct? UX create unrealistic requirement. Any one of you heard this statement? UX create unrealistic requirement? They create or they design the unrealistic things. Design policy is nice to have, but not must have. Okay, so they give something that is good to have, but it's not really needed. Designers don't need to be full-time member of the team. I heard this statement a lot, correct? Can we even estimate design work? We can estimate design work, or we can at least do one thing, that what we can do today, even if we say that how much time it will take. On the other side, designer complains a lot. So I'm not going to read all of this, it's for you. what we can do, how we can resolve this conflict. And that's where we say that you can fix this only when you stop dividing people on the name of skilling, reskilling, educating, whatever you call. Okay? What if you only teaches UX to UX people, and what if you only talk about development to developers? Okay? Why can't we teach these things together? Because if we don't learn about you, and if you don't learn about me, we are not going to appreciate each other's work, and we are not going to work as a team. So what stops you to do this? Okay. And then finally is here. The cost of skilling is nothing in front of cost of delay. So if you want to reduce the cost of delay, because what if someone come before you? Okay. How many digital bank here? Any idea in Malaysia by now? A pure digital bank. Pure digital bank in Malaysia. One is Grab, another is Avon, and third is Boost. So 3 bank. But is Boost out in the market? I don't know. But what stops the normal bank to come to the digital bank? What stops them? Do you think that if the normal bank does not respond to that, a digital bank can eat their market? Maybe. Do you think that this bank does not have capability to build the product like this? That's also not true. Sometimes it's just that the way we work. The way we work is add up our cost of delay. And cost of delay is going to cost you a lot more than skilling people on a common technology and practices. So if you teach everything as a team, it's become easier for you to appreciate and collaborate. So that's all for now. Thank you. And I'm going to be here maybe till lunchtime. So we'll catch up anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Naveen, for the wonderful opener. The entire process is truly about collaborations and involving your team members here. That's what I got from here too. So before I let you go, Mr. Naveen, maybe I shall open the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, kindly raise your hands and our event crew will pass the mic to you. Any questions? I'm not sure whether I can see the back, but yeah. Any? Okay. Maybe it's good for you to share your name and also where do you come from. Okay?
Hello, I'm Amirul from Stampede Design. My question would be, how do we make sure everyone from the design background and the development background speak the same language in this case? Yeah.
So you have to learn the same language to speak the same language. That's what I said. Very simple. Means if we don't understand each other, then we can't speak the common language, correct? So do design people understand development process? Okay. Or maybe in a simple way that why development people complain so much about changing design frequently? They complain because you don't understand their pain. They are taking so much effort in copying the code from the Stack Overflow. And suddenly you come and change the design, then again I have to look for the new code somewhere. No, jokes apart, but to speak the same language, we have to learn the same language. So that means if we are teaching user experience, we can teach the user experience also to developer, correct? And when we're talking about how are we going to develop, what is DevOps, what is Agile, what is Scrum, why can't we teach that to UX people as well? If you are divided, you can't speak the same language. If you are united, you can speak the same language. So.
Yes, united is the key. So any other questions from the floor? If you do, please raise your hands because I might not be able to see you from the front. Maybe I will have him first. Yeah. Again, state your name and where do you come from?
Okay, my name is Noor and I'm from ikhlas.com. One of the questions that keeps coming up in this kind of situation that I've experienced through multiple roles is that people want to do this type of transformation in the team, but the team members themselves, they have a resistance to the change. And then how to actually encourage that change and change the culture of the team members. This is probably one of the bigger challenges. So what advice do you have about how to go about achieving that?
So the first thing to look for is look at the KPI. Okay. If the KPI is set for the individuals, then people are going to care about their KPI, not for the team. Okay. So to change something, you have to change somewhere in the structure. So influence the changes by changing the structure. Otherwise, people will have resistance. Another thing is to look at it that why do we resist or why we have challenges in accepting the change or working differently. Because I don't know what is there for me. There are a lot more unknown on the other side. So I'm good with where I am, with the known thing, even though it might not be the good one, but at least it's known one. Okay? On the other side, there are a lot more unknown. So if there are a lot more unknown, I will not feel comfortable in going on that zone. So educating people, coaching people, plus making a changes in the system that bring people together. Simple things to look at it is a KPI. Okay? Maybe you have a KPI. Maybe your organizations are divided like this. I know many organizations where I'm being a UX, I report to the UX head. You are a developer, you report to developer head. My boss doesn't care about the teamwork. My boss only care about my work. Okay. Are you into that kind of setup? Like the silos where people are splitted with that kind of things and the management is only caring about the individual outcome or output, not the overall product? Maybe if that's the reason, then you have to go and influence the organization design. And there are a lot many people, those who can help you in doing that. Or you can learn about it. So organization design, KPIs, and also not knowing what is my role into that. So teaching people or coaching people can help you to resolve such issues. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any more? Okay, with that, I think thank you so much, Mr. Oh, sorry, there's one more. Okay, we'll take that. Okay, let me walk a bit to the back.
Okay, I have a question. Is when we are going to use waterfall and when we are using agile, and why it becoming hybrid agile?
Use waterfall when you are in a vacation, correct? The vacation around the waterfall is good. See, guys, simple thing. If you are into a product design, you can't come up with a complete requirement up front in a product. I can give you another very simple and totally out of the context product. So one day, a government here constructed a foot-over bridge. You know why do we need a foot-over bridge? Any idea? To cross the street, correct? On the busy street, we can use a foot-over bridge to go on the other side. Okay? After a few years, the shopkeepers came and reached out to the government saying that, can you remove this foot-over bridge? And nobody was using the foot-over bridge because everybody was crossing the street. Okay. Now, do you think even designing the foot-over bridge, you can do it in a waterfall way? Like you go and construct foot-over bridge and nobody is using it. Is it a successful product or failed product? Okay. So you have to look at that, how customer are going to respond to your product. So if you're designing a product, if you choose a waterfall, it will not work. But you can use waterfall somewhere, where a building construction. I don't think that any property developer going to change the design halfway saying that, hey, we are having a condo, no more condo, we are going to have a shopping mall. Okay. They don't change the design frequently, correct? If you are building bridges, you are constructing road, you are constructing railway, all of these are good for waterfall. But product development, regardless of what kind of product, if you don't do it in an iteration, you will not have opportunity to learn about what your customer is looking for. and maybe you produce the product at the end which nobody likes it. So when you are in a product space, let's go for it. Why do we do hybrid? See, it's a kind of bit longer topic. Let me make it simple. That we do it because our organization operate on something called OPEX, okay? Operating expenses, something like that. How many of you know capital expenses and operating expenses? So project-wise funding is much easier than funding on product. So people just take a shorter period. Hey, this requirement, this much, let's fund it. So if you go with the project-based funding, then you will have to have a requirement, time, and cost upfront. So you will end up doing the water or a hybrid agile. If you want to cut it down, then some of the organization I know here, they take a different approach. They say that I will fund you your MVP. If your MVP is successful, then I will fund you the next version of your product. If that is successful, I will fund you the next version of product. So if you take that approach, you don't need to do hybrid. So we do hybrid because our organization functions more like in CapEx and also for the projectized way of funding. If you cut it down, probably you will reduce your impact on the hybrid agile. So that's all, guys.
Let me look around for one final question, if we have any.
No, if you don't have any, then I'm more than happy.
Okay, with that, thank you so much, Mr. Naveen.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.